Welcome to the Wattsburg Area School District, where we are student-centered and future-focused for a world-class education. This is the regular board meeting for Monday, June 16th, which I now call to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer.
Present.
Mr. Brummagem. Mrs. Burlingham.
Here.
Mrs. Hetherington.
Here.
Mrs. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Morvay.
Here.
Dr. Pushcheck.
Here.
Mr. Williams. Mr. Young.
Present. The board did meet in executive session prior to last week's work session for personnel matters, and the board met prior to today's regular board meeting to go over the annual safety and security assessment. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented or amended.
So moved. Pushcheck.
Nicole, second.
Any questions on the agenda? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the May 19th regular board meeting.
Nicole, so moved.
Jeremy, second.
Any questions on those? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 9th work session.
Jeremy, so moved.
Hetherington, second.
Are there any questions on the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now it's time on our agenda for school reports.
Did we get all?
Do we have? Nothing for this week?
Yeah, no school report this week.
Thank you very much, Dr. Berlin. It's now time for guest and citizen comments. Do we have anyone signed up to speak this evening? No, we do not. All right. Now moving on. It's time for superintendent's report. Dr. Berlin, do you have a report for us this evening?
I don't have a report this evening, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Berlin. We'll now recognize Mrs. Vicki Bending for the business administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. For tonight, I have the treasurer's reports as presented last week. In addition to those, the year-to-date budget versus actual report. We are 92% of the fiscal year completed. There's 1 month left of the fiscal year. We have 80.86 year-to-date total budget expenditures and 86.79% year-to-date total budgeted revenues. And there is just over $2 million total budget remaining. And then for the cafeteria, as of the end of May, the May profit was $12,126.95, and the year-to-date loss is $137,545.39. And that concludes the reports. And then the bill lists. The checks already written prior to the work session, which, as I presented last week, checks already written between the work session and this evening. General fund, $25,023.29. And cafeteria bills totaling $25.80. The bill list for board approval for tonight for general fund, $367,624.95. And the cafeteria is $58,775.39. And that is all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Bending. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the business reports, payments, and invoices as presented.
So moved. Pushcheck.
Second, Hetherington.
Are there any questions additionally for Mrs. Bending? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Bending. Under legal advisement for this evening, I would ask if it's okay with the board to go ahead and move these two together in one motion. The first is the appointment of the school district solicitor for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. This is to appoint the firm of Knox, McLaughlin, Gornall, and Sinnott, with Attorney Jennifer Gornall as the primary for the school district solicitor for the school year. And the second one is the appointment of the school district labor council for the 25-26 school year as well, with McDonald Illig Jones, or sorry, it's just McDonald Illig now, with Attorney Mark Kuhar as our labor relations solicitor. May I have a motion?
Nicole so moved.
Jeremy, second.
Are there any questions on either of those two agreements? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We will now turn to Dr. Andy Pushchak for finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Several items this evening. I would like to, without objection, move the first three together. I would like to approve the items listed as 7A, budgetary transfers from budget to actual as attached, the sponsor-to-sponsor agreement as attached, and the designation of the depository of Northwest Bank and Pliget as our depositories for the 25-26 school year. Those three together, so moved.
Morvay, second.
Are there any questions on those three items? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you. Now into the heart of our tasks tonight. I would like to move the approval of the adoption of the general fund budget for the 25-26 fiscal year in the amount of $32,096,229. So moved.
Jeremy, second.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. 7E is the real property tax resolution. To approve the real property tax resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Jeremy, second.
Are there any questions on the real property tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is 7F, which is the per capita tax resolution. To approve the per capita tax resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Second Burlingham.
Are there any questions on the per capita tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Next is the Act 511 per capita tax resolution. To approve the 511 per tax capita resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Morvay, second.
Are there any questions on the per capita tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Next is 7H, the earned income tax, also called the wage tax resolution. To approve the earned income tax wage tax resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Nicole second.
Are there any questions on the earned income tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item is 7I, the realty transfer tax resolution. To approve the realty transfer resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Nicole second.
Are there any questions on the realty transfer tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item is 7J, the local services tax resolution. To approve the local services tax resolution as outlined below, so moved.
Second Burlingham.
Are there any questions on the local services tax resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushchak.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item is 7K, the Act 1 Homestead and Farmstead Exclusion Resolution. To approve the Act 1 Exclusion Resolution Homestead Farmstead as attached. So moved.
Morvay, second.
Are there any questions on the homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer?
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham?
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Morvay?
Yes.
Dr. Pushcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
That's all I have under finance this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck. The chair will now recognize Mr. Jeremy Blazer for Buildings and Grounds.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two items tonight without objection. I'd like to move them together. 8A is for our approval of our campus paving. Motion is to award the bid for campus paving and crack sealing to O Cross Paving at $129,884.22. And 8B is for a concrete bollard project. Motion is to award the bid installation of concrete bollards and related repairs to Paris Brothers and Company at $106,300. So moved.
Second, Pushcheck.
Are there any questions on the campus paving or the concrete bollard project? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Those motions carry. Thank you, Mr. Blazer.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The chair will now recognize Mrs. Nicole Lee for Personnel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I need to split things up a little bit, so we're going to start with 9A, the Superintendent's Annual Performance Evaluation, and this is to approve the Superintendent's 24-25 Annual Performance. So moved.
Morvay, second.
Are there any questions on the Superintendent's Annual Performance Evaluation?
Mr. President,
Yes, Dr. Pushcheck.
I just wanted to thank the board for recognizing the importance of our superintendent and the good work that he does and the team that he leads as our district continues to move forward in a positive manner. We appreciate his work, and his annual performance reflects that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck. And additionally, I would like to thank the committee, Mrs. Lee and Mr. Williams, for working through the process on doing so in an expedient fashion and making sure we covered all the bases and understood where we've been, where we're at today, and where we're going into the future. So thank you to the committee. Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, Board. I appreciate the recognition and your support in all that we do. Thank you.
All right, moving on. Next one is 9B, the Business Administrator Employment Agreement. Motion to approve the employment agreement between Vicki Bendig, Business Administrator, and WASD effective July 1st through June 30th, 2030. So moved.
Blazer,
Morvay,
second.
Are there any additional questions on the Business Administrator Employment Agreement?
Mr. President,
Yes, Dr.
in a similar fashion, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Bendig for her extraordinary work in our business office and the district finances. I think that we're very fortunate to have her in this position. I think we're very fortunate to extend her contract for 5 more years. So thank you, Mrs. Bendig.
Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck, and I will echo all of that. Any others? All right, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer?
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham?
Yes.
Mrs. Heatherington?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Morvay?
Yes.
Dr. Pushcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.
And thank you all very much for your support and confidence in me and my role. I appreciate it.
All right. For the rest, without objection, I would like to move all as one motion. They would include 9C, administration, staff travel reimbursements for attendance at meetings as listed. 9D, flexible spending arrangement agreements as listed. 9E, job descriptions as listed. 9F, appointments as listed. 9G, resignations as listed. 9H, leave requests as listed. So moved.
Second, Pushcheck.
Are there any questions or comments on those 6 motions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Those motions carry. Thank you, Mrs. Lee.
Abstain from anything on that one.
That was
All right, the chair will now recognize Mrs. Brittany Burlingham for policy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I only have one item underneath here for policy tonight, which is Subject A, the first reading of policies, to approve the first reading of the policies as outlined and attached below. So moved.
Jeremy, second.
Are there any questions on the three policies outlined? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Burlingham. The chair will now recognize Mr. Stephen Morvay for curriculum.
Mr. President, there are two items on the agenda for this evening under curriculum. If there's without objection, I plan to move those as a combination. First one is 11A, the Transition Center Operating Agreement between Erie County Technical School and the Wattsburg School District for provide special education services. It's through July 1st through June 30th, 2026. And then 11B, which is the AI-powered education platform using the it's open school AI education platform for 2025 through 2026 as attached. So moved. 2028, excuse me, yes.
Second, Burlingham.
Are there any questions or comments on the two items presented by Mr. Morvay? I will make a comment. I will thank again, even though we did last week, the presentation on the school AI platform. Mr. Engler, your team was 6 members on that committee, and the investment they've made in their time on resources, and to be able to come here and make it very easily understandable for us and have us know that we're on the front end of processes that are going to be going in place in school districts around this country was very enlightening, and we appreciate the effort you're putting in and can't wait to see where this goes into the future. Any others? Hearing none? all in
Just
favor?
a quick question.
Yes.
Mr. Young. So on the recommended action, it says we're approving the platform 25 to 28, and then the attachment says 25, 26. So just making sure that's accurate. I didn't know if we're approving the platform for 3 years and maybe just 1 year at a time.
Yeah, so it is a 3-year contract, just for stability purposes,
So is the attachment just misnamed, or?
Or the attachment is just 1 year at a time, so we'll have to approve the attachment.
Yeah, so it's
future
1 year at
years.
a time, but we locked in that same price for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blazer. Any others? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Those motions carry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The chair will now recognize Mr. Jeremy Blazer for technology.
Just one item tonight for 12A is our Time Clock Plus. There's a motion to approve the purchase of cloud-hosted licenses implementation services from Time Clock Plus LLC as attached.
Second, Pushcheck.
Any questions on that one? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Blazer.
Thank you.
The chair will now recognize Mr. Stephen Morvay for transportation.
Mr. President, there is one item under transportation requests for this evening, and that's to approve the transportation request for field trips from the last meeting as per the attachment. So moved.
Full second.
Any questions on the transportation requests? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Morvay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The chair will now recognize Mrs. Leah Hetherington for athletic and extracurricular.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without objection, I would like to move all 5 of my items at once. 14A is athletic appointments, to approve the athletic appointments as listed. 14B is extracurricular appointments, to approve the extracurricular appointments for the 2025-26 school year as listed. C is extracurricular resignations as listed. D is volunteer list as listed, and E is game help additions, big as listed there. So moved.
Second, Burlingham.
Are there any questions on those 5 for this evening? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Hetherington. Under miscellaneous for this evening, we have an addendum item. This is a peer support group services agreement. This is to approve the amended agreement between Caring Foundation and Wattsburg Area School District to provide peer support group services for grieving students for the 2025 to 2027 time period per attached. Could I have a motion to that order?
So move, Pushchak.
Nicole, second.
Are there any questions on the peer support group services agreement? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And that motion carries. Thank you. The chair will now recognize Mr. Stephen Morvay for the Erie County Technical School Joint Operating Committee report.
Mr. President, this is the report of the May Joint Operating Committee. They always highlight certain students, so we had actually two students of the month. First one was Max McClintock. He's a senior who graduated obviously now this past month in drafting and design. And then there's another one that was highlighted in their Career Street Flyer, Catherine Cesario. She's a sophomore, and she's in auto body, and so she was the subject of the Career Street Flyer that is put out by the tech school. In addition, we had some updated and renewed articulation agreements with Mercyhurst University, Penn College, and Erie Community College. So those are items that are articulation agreements were re-upped this year for college credit for classes that the students are taking at the tech school. We also had this will be the first year that they're going to start to run some summer camps. And first ones that are going to be open actually is going to be one in 3D printing. That'll be actually the third week of June, so actually next week. It's a 3-day camp, and it's fairly reasonable. It's $100 per student for a 3-day camp. And then there's also going to be a 1-day camp for animal careers, and that's on July 30th, and that's for current ECTS students. So a couple of things that are starting to happen over the summer at the tech school that they're just starting to pilot now. As I mentioned last month, we had a Skills USA team that was the state champions, now going to the national competition, which is actually next week. Avita Pushak is part of that group, and they leave. It begins Monday next week and goes through the 28th. So I think it's a 5-day competition is how it works. So we'll be looking to hear good reports out of that competition. And then also an update then on the solar panel project. If you remember, I brought before the board some information that the tech school had applied for a $400,000 grant to go against a proposed solar project. That grant has been received and awarded to the tech school. And it is a part of a 500 kilowatt facility, so fairly small. But the project itself is about a $1.2 million cost. So $400,000 covered by the grant. There's also let me just get my notes here right. There's a $500,000 credit from the federal tax credits. Then there's a first energy rebate. There's $67,000 in sellable energy credits, saleable energy credits. And then there's $260,000 would remain from the capital project fund. Bottom line is there's no additional costs, no additional funding needed from any of the districts. And this would be one of those things that's going to be they're trying to use it also as a living lab, such that every year there'll be maybe some new panels that'll get installed by the tech students so that they learn a skill and they continue how those things would be integrated into the solar farm that's where it's going. And they estimate that it potentially will save electricity $140,000 a year in electricity. So $3.5 million over 25 years, that's taking some projections with current electrical rates, et cetera, and things moving along those lines. Construction scheduled to start in the spring of 2026 after some architectural and engineering goes out, some bidding goes out, those type of things. So those will be moving forward. And the location of the solar farm is to the north of the campus, towards the highway, towards I-90.
Behind the back
behind the
parking lot?
buildings, yeah. So what is that? Robinson? No, it's not Robinson. Robinson
Yeah.
Road. Hammett Road.
Hammett Road.
Behind it.
Yeah.
So it's on the north side of that. Behind the buildings is where it's planned on going. And then that'll be the place for expansion as it goes forward. So that's just an update on a little capital project that's happening there at the tech school. That's all I have this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Morvan. I can tell you our family, we have a new student orientation on August 20th that we're already counting down the days to. So
Yeah.
lots to be excited for the next school year. So thank you, Mr. Morvan. The chair will now
He's going
recognize.
to enter a big class.
Yes, very big class.
which is great. It's good stuff.
The chair will now recognize Dr. Andrew Pushchak for the Northwest Tri-County Intermediate Unit Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mr. President. In addition to the board report that Mr. Berlin sent out in your weekly update, just a few highlights from the meeting. We approved the addition of 26 positions, most of those related to the transferent entity, the IU taking over Erie's Public Schools Early Intervention Program. And then at our meeting next Wednesday, I will be remoting in from Atlanta. As Mr. Morvay mentioned, I'll be chaperoning the group going to Atlanta for the Skills USA National Competition. And then at our meeting next week, similar to the reorganization meeting that we have in December, IUs have what's called an annual convention that they hold in June. So we will have our convention where we do the election of officers, setting of the dates, all the things that we do at our reorganization meeting. And then I will have a report on the results of that in August. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pushchak. It's now time for board correspondence and dialogue. Does anyone have anything for the good of the order this evening?
Mr. President, tagging on to my report regarding the solar project there at the technical school, now their situation is different than ours in that there's one building essentially, and they can tie into one, power grid. Has there been any? I mean, it's just a thought. Have we ever looked at it here? We seem to have quite a bit of land. We have other things, rebates, grants, all those things, and I'm just trying to see if there's been any, consideration for that.
Yes, we've looked at that a couple times. In fact, Gary Jacobs, who's the main engineer on most of our guaranteed energy savings projects, he's been corresponding with a few different potential partners. We have a lot of land, but the usable area, 5 acres maybe, and that gets you right to the break-even point. We have another 4 acres, which would give us 9, and you start to get return on investment there, that would generate enough power. The issue with all of it is the 5 acres moderate wetlands, but the other 4, we're going to get into permitting fees, and any wetland you displace, if they consider it displaced, you have to make a co-equal replacement of it. So
our site and our logistics at this point kind of prohibit us from.
Yeah, but
pursuing.
it's not out of the question.
Right. Efficiencies will improve and other things.
Yeah, and the type of panels you hang make a difference. But there's a cost factor there. So I think as that technology matures a little bit, it definitely is a possibility.
It's a wait and see. Wait and see. Fair enough. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Morvay. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Just a comment. If we needed, or a question rather, if we needed to have a brief meeting sometime in July just for the sole purpose of hiring a few individuals, is there a date that's better? Probably, just a straw poll here. I can communicate, obviously, with everybody.
Me personally, the 14th would be the only available if it was between the 14th and the 21st. That's just me personally.
I'm open.
I'm good. Either date.
So 14 or 21 is.
Would it be at 7? Like, we're aiming for 7?
Doesn't have to be at 7 if there's a better time.
7, and I'm going to be honest, is just a lot easier for me because I just can never guarantee at this point with my new job that, as you can tell, the last 2 weeks, I have not been able to be pulled away from a crisis, so 7 o'clock is just a little easier. But,
Okay.
just saying.
14th is fine.
14th, 7? Tentatively available for a tentatively needed.
So 14th, tentative.
Tentative hire?
And how about the 21st?
Should be okay.
I just can't do the 21st, that's all.
Yeah, well,
No biggie.
I think if we can get a quorum.
Yep. Hey, Nicole, do the 21st for Nicole. Come on, pinch hit this thing.
Do it.
I have a question. On the agenda, there was only one position needing filled still, or is there more
Yes.
in the works?
So, the counseling position, we thought we'd have somebody for tonight, and we didn't. They wanted to do a round of performance interviews. They could not get that to happen today. So that's not going to happen for, till later this month. That's one opening. We're anticipating the resignation of an elementary teacher. She's indicated that she's going to be moving to another job, but she doesn't want to resign, obviously, until she's secured that job 100%. So that's a second opening, and then we're looking for another speech-language pathologist, because we're adding one this year. In a sense, we've subcontracted 3/4 of one for quite a few years. So we're adding a full-time now, and that's another hiring situation. And all of these replacements may and most likely will involve somebody with experience or at another district. So most districts have been holding everybody 60 days. So that's why if we could have names and be organized by that third week of July, we could start the clock running on the 60 days and there'd be a chance that we could be staffed for the first day of school. That's kind of the goal. So that's where we're at the moment. That's what I know about anyways.
Any others for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Nicole, so moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.